dark. I want to see what the twisted people look like tonight. I'm so happy to be with you all, and I'm super excited to introduce our special guest tonight, who is a David Lynch favorite, not only appearing in Wild at Heart, but also Twin Peaks, the rebooted Twin Peaks. Just met him about 15 minutes ago. I already think he's pretty great. So please help me welcome David Patrick Kelly. I'm gonna give you the bell.
But all I want is a party doll. Someone to be with me when I'm feeling wild. Always loving, true and fair. To run my fingers through my hair. Well, come along and be my party doll. Come along and be my party doll. Come along and be my party doll. And I'll make love to you, to you. I'll make love to you. Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. Kinda get you like it if you give it a chance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. I just want to start with a couple of things, David.
I love it.
From Barry Gifford's novel, you know, because I had this mandolin the last time I saw David, and sang him a song from James Joyce, you know, and found out that we're both from County Cork. You know, we both have roots in County Cork, and so Barry Gifford in the novel Sadler and Louie has an incredible set list. That must have inspired David, because David was so passionate and articulate and accomplished in his own music. He loved music, you know. He'd say in that way, it's a thing of its own. It's its own thing, you know. And so I just want to share that with you, you know, to get into the mood of what was inspiring for them when they put that incredible set list together for the film, you know, with Coco Taylor and Chris Isaac, and it's just a great thing. So I wanted to share that with you all.
I'm so glad you did.
And
For anyone who's not aware, there's footage online on YouTube of the moment where you play that song.
yeah, it was Mark Frost's idea, you know, because he'd seen Harry Dean Stanton was always singing his wonderful Mexican folk songs, and David loved those, and you can see footage of that too. And Mark Frost said, "Bring your mandolin. He'll put it in. Well, he didn't put it in, but somebody, you know, he asked me to sing him a song. Sing me a little Irish song. Sing me a little Irish, you know." And I'd come off 3 years in the Broadway musical once, you know. So in once, yes, thank you. It was great time. We had to learn 45 minutes of Irish songs in that, you know, and I'm an old rocker, I'm a CBGB's person, you know, but starting in Detroit, I played the mandolin because of the Beatles and anything different being cool. I got a mandolin, put a pickup on it, and played it as a rhythm guitar in my rock band in Detroit. And so we were playing Hendrix and Motown on this thing, you know, so I never knew any Irish tunes. So for once I learned, you know, much Irish music, and James Joyce's story from the Dubliners, The Dead, you know, because Joyce was a musician, he was a tenor, and he played the guitar, and he puts a great song, The Lass of Ogram, which is, as I say in this YouTube clip to David, I said, Joyce put it in there to show that music can cause trouble. You know, yeah. And it caused trouble in Joyce's story, and that was the point that he put it in there to remind this lady of her past. And so anyway, that's more than you wanted to know about that. But
such a cool moment. I mean, David Lynch is not the only director who you had a great relationship with. Walter Hill cast you several times, but yeah. But I'd love to know how you would articulate the connection that you had with David Lynch.
Well, it's hard. I never had dinner with him. I never, but we did have an amazing kind of connection, in my humble opinion. It was really great. I was telling the story of how I got involved with him. I was doing a movie that probably most of you haven't seen, called The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. And it was starring the controversial Andrew Dice Clay at the time. Right. And I was playing a character called Sam the Sleazebag. and I was a stalker of these pop groups. Now the pop group, Dice was so controversial at the time that the pop group who were in the film quit. And they just put anonymous, hardworking, wonderful actors in there to be the pop group that I was following around. I saw in New York a show at the O.K. Harris Gallery. O.K. Harris had presented Warhol and all the early popsters. And he had a show from a young woman from Athens, Georgia, named Joni Mabe. And Joni is a fine artist from the University of Athens, where REM and B-52s, that was her era, where she came up. She still lives there. She's known as the Elvis Lady. She runs the Loudermilk Boarding House in Athens and has the Big E Musical Festival every August, coming up soon. And so I saw her show, which was in a giant room filled with suitcase shrines to Elvis, but all the country western stars, all these individual suitcase shrines. And I saw this, and as a stalker, I said, well, I gotta have something like this. So I called her up in Athens, and she said, okay, David, I'll know exactly what I'm gonna do. And she sent it to my hotel, and it was so bizarre that the producers on Ford Fairlane said, no, we're not gonna use that, but I had the meeting with David Lynch and the great Johanna Ray, and I took it to that meeting, this shrine that looked like your grandmother's jewelry box with all these intricate things, beautiful things in it, and Lynch loved it. And I had this character. The character had a slow by, and he talked like this. I'd hung out with autograph speakers at 30 Rock, and I got Jackson Brown's autograph. And the main thing that they told me when I was hanging out with them, I said, I'm doing this movie, and they said, don't make us look like weirdos. and we put the line in the movie. So I showed David that character, and I showed him this thing. He said, well, this is great. And I felt like I was in an art class because he was correcting things. He said, well, I'd move this over here and put this over here, And then he wrote me in The Wild at Heart and into Twin Peaks. And so I have to give big thanks to Joni Mabe and her artistic creativity. And that's how, was that even the question that you asked?
It was in the vicinity. Let me ask a very simple question for people who are about to see Wild at Heart either for the first time or the 10th time. What do you like the most about this movie?
Well, I always like art that's encyclopedic, and having read Gifford's novel and seeing all the stuff that he references in there, which is great novels, to me, it reminds me of Nabokov's Lolita, or the thing with language that Nick Cage and Laura accomplished so well from Gifford's novel is this bizarre etiquette, this kind of politeness that they have, this kind of heightened language that they speak, And so that's one of the things that David preserved and sort of highlighted in a wonderful way. His references are to other movies, and he always has amazing actors in his films and stuff, and then the music. The music is, he takes Gifford's thing, which is old blues guy John Lee Hooker and Jimmy Rogers. It's in the Gifford, and Little Eva with Locomotion and Buddy Knox, who had at the same time, he was #1 with that song, Party Down, 1957. So he lifts it up, David lifts it up with Chris Isaak's great rockabilly sound, and Coco Taylor, and it has an amazing encyclopedic quality to it, you know. You don't get to see it very much, you know. I have a tattoo on my hand. I don't think I say a word in it. I sing a couple songs or things like that, but no, I do say it. I say bye-bye.
Look for David when he's terrorizing Harry Dean Stanton, basically, with Grace Zabriskie. It's like, for a super sweet guy, you're really good at being menacing.
Well, you know, I don't know where it comes from.
I don't want to find out either, by the way.
Catholic training, it's the via negativa, you know. You know, that's more than you want to know, but there's so many things, you know, the literary qualities from Gifford, and then David lifts it into this other realm with Fred Elm's great cinematography, you know, and Nick and Laura, and that music.
Anything you want to play us out?
Grace Zabriskie. Oh,
she's great.
Yeah.
You said, I remember you saying backstage there were 3 snippets of songs that you had. I only heard 2.
He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. Well, I told him once or twice to quit playing those cards and dice. He's in the jailhouse now. Yodelay, 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 ooh. Yodelay, yodelay, yodelay.
That's what it's getting up for in and of itself. David Patrick Kelly, everyone. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thanks, David.